I got it.
Yeah, you're locking us in this party deck, honey.
The one thing I love about these toy boxes, besides all the convenience, all the wonderful things that they do, and the fact that it's so much comfort and the kids love it, and you can just go out and do it in style. And
Yes.
everything at your fingertips. These are so sturdy.
Sturdy.
I mean, I couldn't believe the first time I ever stepped on a deck how sturdy. I could lean against it, no problem.
Y'all, I'm shocked at how it feels like home.
Yeah.
Everything about this, I am now, y'all, I've got to make a decision. Is it a Class A? Is it a Class C? Is it a toy hauler? Is it a fifth wheel?
Now, here's what we did. We've gone around and we've seen all these amazing units, and you were in my Class A yesterday, and I sat her in the captain's chair in the
So
front
nice.
to see the window, the picturesque window out front. That's one of the things I love about it. Yes. I've driven a Class C. We talked about being in the toy haulers and the toy boxes, what I call them. My kids call them too. But being in the Class A for me is like I finally found my niche, my home. But after Ian showed us what that awesome Class A was earlier today, there was a couple of things like an outdoor kitchen that maybe I want to trade in. And if you want to trade in, we're going to give you a lot more than anybody else would ever think about giving you. And we'll come and pick your trade in up.
Did you hear that? We'll pick it up. I know you have a ton of questions. We have questions too. And guess what? We've got a team of specialists to answer those questions for you. Just call 866-853-3510. Or if you don't have time to call, give us a text. Just text URVS to 46642. And everybody is standing by to answer anything you have. But we're about to talk about some really fun stuff. Well, Ian and Chris are.
We're talking about the lifestyle and living it. The Ultimate RV Show is not anywhere near done this weekend. We got a big day tomorrow. However, right now we're going to introduce you to somebody that is living the lifestyle of what it's all about. Let's head over to Chris and Ian. Fellas, let's talk about it. What are we doing over here?
Yeah.
Oh, Sean and Trish, thank you guys so much. I'm envious that they're sitting there on the party deck of that Fusion.
Yes. Oh, man, that thing is gorgeous.
I mean, you know, football season's upon us. The Ultimate RV Show is making me think about how great it would be to have my RV to tailgate.
Yes, especially in Notre Dame country.
That's right. Touchdown, Jesus. And just how great it is when you have your RV, the things that you can do with it, which is why we are honored to be joined by our friend Jenny, girl from 10,000 Lakes. Now, I believe, Jenny, you're actually near a lake right now, aren't you? Because you're out in some...
I can't hear anything right now.
Some like remote in a nook of the Nora location? That's great. That's just because you're in a cabin that was built in 1844, Jenny.
I feel like the Verizon guy. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you, yes.
Awesome.
Even with my...
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
Hey, welcome to the Ultimate RV Show, Jenny. Thank you so much for joining us here during the live stream.
Yeah.
You know, Ian and I have actually been, going through a lot of RVs here with the Ultimate RV Show, telling folks how awesome they are. And we're kind of hoping that you'll take a few minutes and just kind of tell us how awesome it is to use them. Are you cool with that?
Of course, yes, I'm all about it.
Awesome. Well, why don't you take a quick minute and kind of introduce yourself to us and everybody watching the Ultimate RV Show right now?
Sure, yeah. My name is Jenny Anderson. People know me as the girl of 10,000 Lakes over on the social media channels, but I am a weekend warrior. I love camping on the weekends, doing all sorts of trips. Ice fishing is my thing. Let's see, I have two campers. One is for ice fishing and one is for just regular camping. Our family, my 2-year-old son and my 7-month-old daughter and my husband, we love taking trips together. And yeah, that's why we do this.
That's awesome. Tell us a little bit about the ice fishing experience, right? Because I think that's something that a lot of people, when you think about RVing, it's not the first thing that comes to mind. And I love it, right? Like I grew up in Michigan. Ice fishing is definitely a thing. So for anyone that hasn't tried it, I think it's more fun than regular fishing, just my take.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit about that and how that works out.
Yeah, I think people are always surprised because they picture the old guy on a bucket, hovering over a hole, waiting for fish, but it is not like that anymore. These fish houses are luxurious. They're called fish houses or ice houses or RVs that are made for ice fishing. And it's basically just a regular RV, but it lowers to the ground so that you can be on the ice on a frozen lake. There are holes inside. There are rattle reels, which are reels that hover over the holes. It's insulated for winter, so it's really cozy. You crank it up to 80 degrees and it feels like it's summer in there, but you are sitting on a frozen lake, ice fishing for a walleye or whatever your heart's desire is.
Now, do you use the hand auger, the power auger, and how many slush buckets do you have?
Yes, I still need to get a slush bucket, but yeah, I do not use a hand auger. That is too much of a workout for me. I have an electric auger. It just zips right into the hole and out. It's real fast, real smooth. It cuts through the ice like butter, 24 inches of ice sometimes. And yeah, that's some safe ice.
Absolutely. So Jenny, we are streaming live during the Ultimate RV Show, and we have people who are, streaming in some questions to us. One of them says, I follow Jenny on her social media, and I love her account. How do you take your kids RVing? How do you get them into it?
Yeah, I mean, we basically just force them into it, which there's no way out of it for them because we are an RVing camping family. But I try to make it as homey as possible. So bringing some of the things that we love at home into the RV. So for my son, he's 2, we bring our Legos, our coloring books, tons of books to read, different trucks and all sorts of toys. And then my daughter is only 7 months old, so she just kind of sits there and lays there cute. So she's been really easy so far. But yeah, we just try to get them involved in everything outdoors because the earlier you introduce them to it, it'll be a bigger part of their lifestyle, and hopefully they'll love it as much as we do someday. I like bedtime routines and things like that. We always bring like a sound machine, our pack and plays, which are like portable cribs. So we try to make it as much like our home environment when we go to bed as possible so that they don't have trouble falling asleep when we're on the road as well.
Yeah, for sure. Jenny, I do have a question that just came in here, and it says, how far in advance should I be planning my trip? That's awesome. That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on what time of year you are thinking about camping or ice fishing, whatever the scenario is. But I've done it as, maybe as like 1 week before, but it depends. Like if it's the off season, you can plan that quickly in advance or that soon to the date that you want to go camping. Other times I've planned like 6 months in advance. If it's a hot spot that I know a lot of people are looking for, if it's like Memorial Day weekend or Labor Day weekend, or, if it's a holiday weekend, you definitely want to plan months in advance.
And, to that point, if you're going to go out camping for the first time, how long should you go? What's a good window to not overdo it, but also get in enough that you're really going to enjoy it?
Yeah.
I think if it's your first time, try to keep it closer to home so that you do have the option to like leave a little early if you have to, like say you forgot some supplies and you have to call it early, like not a big deal to pack up and head home, an hour away. But I feel like a weekend trip is sort of a solid first time experience. You have time to get used to the sleeping environment and cooking for a couple of nights, making breakfast and exploring the city that you are currently visiting. So I would say a weekend is perfect.
That's a good one that just came in, big dog. Look at that one. Oh,
yeah. Oh, there we go. Jenny, here's a good one. How do you prepare meals before you go camping, or do you just wing it? Or I'm going to add, do you cook your catch?
Oh.
Ooh, yes, you know it. Yeah, I'm all about cooking my catch. Whenever we go camping, we always make sure that there's a lake nearby that has some fish in it, that has accessible fishing if we're going to fish off the dock. And I always have a supply of shore lunch or whatever, like fish breading possible in our cupboard at all times. We always have ramen, mac and cheese, the easy stuff, like just in case. But I usually plan like one pot meals, so meals that don't require a lot of dishes. So if I can just throw it all in one pot, fry some, chicken, add some veggies, add some marinade and sauce, and cook it up all in one, that's easy cleaning for me. Everyone's happy with the meal. So yeah, I love just looking on Pinterest for like one pot meals that are not necessarily for camping, but it is definitely perfect for RV living.
Let me tell you, hodgepodge in an aluminum foil pouch on a grill is my go-to. Just anything that's left over, throw it in aluminum foil, put on the grill. That's
what else do you need?
Yeah, that's all you need. So, Jenny, was another great one that just came in. How do I plan for an ice fishing trip with an RV? Is it way different than campground camping?
It is, because you aren't at a campground, you're on a frozen lake. So unlike a lot of campgrounds where you have to make reservations and you're safe on land, you kind of have to watch for the ice conditions and ask around different resorts who are on lakes to see if the ice is safe enough to get on, to get your RV and your SUV or whatever, your truck on. And then sometimes you have to pay a road fee, which is like a maintained ice road that a business might take care of. So you pay like a $10, $20 fee to get on this road, and it's like a maintained ice road, like I said. And you drive down and find a spot where you might want to camp for the night, and you just plop your fish house down and hope that there's some fish there. So yeah, definitely different. But, I bring along a portable fire pit so that it feels like camping. And we, crank up the tunes, we raise the temperature. It feels like we're on vacation a lot of times in the winter. And then you'll open the door and it's like a blizzard outside. So it's pretty interesting. It's fun.
It's like growing up when you would run from the pool or from the hot tub, right? It's winter. You'd run outside the hot tub and then jump in the hot tub.
And then run back and jump in the pool.
Yeah,
just to get cold, warm, cold, warm. Next thing you know, you're down for the count for 3 days.
Yeah.
I'd like to bring a hot tub with sometime.
Right? Jenny, I just got a question in from Claire. She says, is it easy to cook in an RV? That's my biggest fear. I want to bring my kitchen on the road. Thanks for the show.
Super easy. I mean, it's like you're cooking at home. RVs are so convenient for cooking. I have used the RV kitchen when like my appliances at home were down for some reason, or like the stove went out because of electricity issues. Then I've run into my RV and turned that on with the propane. And that has been a great feature for us. Of course, you can also cook in a campfire, like you said, or you could bring a portable grill or a portable, there's so many portable options these days that you don't have to necessarily cook in the RV. You could just cook outside. So as if you're grilling on your deck, but you have it with you.
So we are once again talking with Jenny from Girl of 10,000 Lakes here at the Ultimate RV Show. If you do have questions, please be sure to put them in the chat during the feed. Also use our social media platforms. Megan just came up with a good one. I've been thinking a way to kind of work this in, Ian. And Jenny, what was the one thing you didn't think of before you got into the lifestyle that you would tell a newbie? I want to start RVing, but I don't know where to start.
That is a good one.
Okay, so I would say, think about the bathroom situation. Okay, so our first RV that we got is definitely like a boondocking sort of thing. So we didn't have running water or anything. So literally we used a luggable loo, which is like the best invention ever. It's like a bucket and you put a toilet seat on top with peat moss in it. And you just fill it up with peat moss each time you go. And that is such an easy thing compared to what we have now with our updated, more modern day camper that has running water. Now we have to actually maintain, the water system and clean it out and make sure, things are smelling okay and normal. So we have to put vinegar in it every couple of weeks to make sure it cleans out okay, and bleach it once a year. So those are things that I didn't think about when we got our new, more modern RV. So I don't know, part of me misses the luggable loo, but then you get the nice flushing water, and that's also a luxury that I like.
Do you have a question there, sir?
Yeah. Cousin Chris has just got a quick question. We're going to forego some of the other ones that instantly popped through my head, but what was the name of the thing?
A luggable loo.
A luggable loo. Wasn't that your nickname in college, or was that my nickname in college?
Thanks, Chris. Thank you.
So, Jenny, that's awesome. That's let me tell you, that gave me some ideas for some products.
Hey, you know what? Nothing like a bucket with a seat. Am I right?
Hey, that's pretty much how we get through life. Did you ever rent an RV before you bought one? We want to test it out before we dive into buying. Henry, thanks.
Yeah, so we haven't rented one from any place. I know a lot of places do offer that option, so that's a great way to go. But we've borrowed RVs from friends. When you're on the lake and you want to go ice fishing for the first time, a lot of outfitters do provide like the fish house RV experience on the lake, and they like set everything up for you on the ice. So if that's something you're interested in, that's a great way to get into ice fishing. But yeah, we haven't done rentals. Definitely, if you have friends that have it, see if they'll loan it out to you, because then, hey, it's free and you can decide over a weekend whether you want to invest in one or not.
Right on. Kind of going along that same line, Jenny. So I know you said that you have the ice house, and you have one for just kind of everything else. What RV do you have, and why did you choose to buy that RV?
Okay, so the first RV is a 1960 something vintage camper. It's like a canned ham style. I don't even really know. It's the Monitor brand, which I don't know. You got to do some digging for that one, because I don't know if they're still around anymore. But I found it on Craigslist, and I wanted that one in particular because it was a crank down fish house camper.
Okay.
So we could go camping all the other seasons when there isn't ice, and when there is ice, we can crank it down onto the lake and go winter camping. So I wanted something that was 4 seasons, and that delivered it. And then our family grew. So that was when my husband and I, we were the only ones camping and ice fishing. And now we have our son and daughter, and we need more room. So now we have a Riverside Retro 820R is what it's called. So it's a toy hauler. It's like 21 feet long. It's long enough so my 6'5" husband can lay down comfortably, which is a big deal for him. Yeah. And so, yeah, it was an upgrade all around. We wanted the toy hauler because we now have an ATV and want to be able to take that around with us. And eventually the goal is to actually convert this thing to an ice fishing house as well, but we'll see. We're currently in talks with people to see if we can engineer that.
That's beautiful. Jenny, what is one thing you couldn't go RVing without?
Ooh, okay. Let's see. Okay, so for me, sleep is everything. I would say that we bring the kids' stuff, our pack and play, our sound machine, their loveys, their stuffies, like that. If we left the house without that, we would all be doomed. Like literally no one would get sleep. Our kids would not sleep. It would be a horrible mess. So that would be the one thing. And then the other thing I wouldn't RV without is my fishing pole, because I want to be able to do recreation while we're out camping, and fishing is my number one thing.
I love it. Yeah. And that's one of those things too, right? We talk about, the different ways to use your RV. And I think that so many people just kind of have it in their heads that it's, going to a campground and staying there. But that's not at all the case, Chris, as we've talked about before. I mean, you can have a seasonal lot, at a campground, with a pool if you want, or, you can do rustic camping. You can go somewhere fishing, right? You can go like you say, ice fishing in the middle of winter, which I think is the furthest thing that people generally think about when they think of camping. But Jenny, I love that you're getting out there and doing it. Oh yeah, we did get a question in from Peggy, and it says, "What has been your favorite RV trip so far? Can't wait to take my family next year, and I need a new RV bucket list destination."
Oh, okay.
Oh man. Okay, so one of the most memorable trip that we've done was before we had kids. We did a trip that went from North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming. So we did the whole national park system in that area, and that was just so epic to be able to go park right next to a mountain as your background and do this RV camping. That was like a dream come true, just to be able to park next to a wonderful trout stream where we are catching trout and have these mountain views and get some memorable hikes in, be really active while we're also camping. That was definitely an epic trip. And then the other one that I have to say is Lake of the Woods, which is in Minnesota. It's an ice fishing destination. So that was awesome. Caught a bunch of walleye and sauger while ice fishing there. And you can actually get on the ice there, into like late March, which, most fishing seasons close by then. So that's a great place if you want to keep winter and ice fishing on the radar for later in the winter season.
So, Jenny, what's the biggest walleye you've caught?
Oh.
Ooh, I feel like, okay, so I think it is a 32-inch walleye, but my husband says it was a 30-inch walleye. So
Still,
I don't know. I thought it was. I was putting my contacts in and it was a little blurry. But
Every good fishing story.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite see.
well, I mean, they also grow at least 2 inches in a pound by the time you get them home. So, I mean, that is a thing.
Jenny, I have a question for you. So, obviously you're very outdoorsy, right? Getting out there, doing fishing, getting the kids involved, and I absolutely love it. For a lot of us, there's just, electronics have become such a part of life. What is your take on electronics? I mean, obviously the 7-month-old, probably not so much, but, kind of what is your view on that while camping?
what kind of electronics are we talking? Like tablets? Or?
Basically tablets, TV, things like that.
Okay, I say do what's best for you. I personally see tablets and things like that as a tool. Like if you're trying to get things done on the campground, get things set up, and you need to occupy your kid for a little bit, sure, give them a tablet. Let them be busy and safe inside the camper or in the car or whatever. I mean, they should spend time outdoors when you're all ready to spend time outdoors together. So I would say use what you have to. With the fishing and stuff, we have an aqua view, which is a electronic camera that goes under the through the hole into the lake as you're camping. So you can actually look at the fish that are underwater where you're camping on. So we just have like a monitor up and be able to watch the fish live as they're swimming around. So that's a fun way to include electronics and let our kids take part in that too.
Oh my gosh, my 6-year-old would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great answer. Thank you.
I think both my boys, I'm trying to get them more into it.
Yeah.
The problem is it's hard breaking them from the electronics to get them into the RV and once you get out there and doing stuff, because most of the RVs these days are so accessible and so connected.
Yeah.
It's easy to fall back on that crutch. It really is. Now, Jenny, you had talked a little bit earlier about the toy hauler that you guys have, as well as the fish house. Just had this question come in, so I'm actually going to break it out into 2 parts. I'm looking for a new RV, and I love the show. A question for Jenny: if you had to get a new RV, what would you get and why? And then I'm going to tack on to that: if you had to get a fish house, which one would you get and why?
Maybe it's one and the same.
Could be. Very well could be. That could be a trick question. And would it have M&Ms? No, go ahead.
Yes, it'd be filled with M&Ms in every cupboard.
Yes.
And it would be, okay, so I love the retro style. So anything that's sort of that vintage retro look, I think is timeless and fun. And it's always a crowd pleaser. People always stop us and want to talk to us about it. So I guess whatever model you're looking for, look for one that's, one you feel comfortable towing. For us, 21 feet is probably our max, and our car can only handle 5,000 pounds max. So our Riverside Retro 820R is perfect for us. If I were to come up with a dream scenario, I want a vintage retro canned ham fish house that cranks down the ice with a push of a button that I don't have to manually crank down, that warms up before I even step to the ice through Bluetooth or Wi-Fi technology.
Oh, wow.
And has enough sleeping space for 2 babies and 2 adults. Yeah, it's really the people that you're with at the end of the day. I love my family and camping with them. We have a select number of friends that we bring with us. So I would say if you're with good company, it doesn't matter what size your RV is. You're going to be cozy and having a good time, or spread out and having a great time too.
That's spot on. Yeah, I like that. That's actually really good advice. Any other tips that you would give a first-time RVer on how to use their RV more effectively?
I think if you're shopping for an RV for the first time, like don't jump into it right away for sure. Just like shop around. I think with everything being available online now and to be able to talk with people who are selling RVs through text message and online and email, like that has been such a great feature to have to be able to like not settle right away because it feels like, oh, like this one RV looks like 100 people are looking at it right now. I should probably just hop on that. And I know how tempting that can be, but I would say like be sure that you're sure about your purchase before you do it. And then other than that, I mean, it doesn't matter how old your RV is either. We have an old 1960s, 70s RV as well as a new 2019 RV. So both have fit our purposes. Just think about the lifestyle that you have and whether you think, boondocking or camping in places without electricity is for you, or if it is not, then make sure you have all the luxurious amenities, that is electricity and plugins and all that. So I guess that's my advice.
It's great advice.
Love it. All right. Well, Jenny, thank you so much. I appreciate you joining us. It's been absolutely entertaining, really helping to open up everyone's eyes, right? Being able to see how many uses there are for different RVs and getting your family out there and really just enjoying RVing and the lifestyle. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me. I am happy to share and hopefully people found these tips useful.
Absolutely.
I'm just speaking from my experience and I'm glad to share it.
Thanks, Jenny.
Awesome. Well, stick around because we got more with the Ultimate RV Show. We're going to wrap it up next. Hang on.
This is so good.
Brittany Elizabeth Johnson, would you do me the...
No.
My dad told me you'd say no. It's too soon.
No. Kevin, how you gonna pay for that?
He won't have to. Kevin has Good Sam RV insurance, so he's covered. It's specialty RV insurance at a price that fits your budget, so you can focus on those wedding plans. Maybe not by a lake. You found a guy who makes good decisions. Most of the time. Oh. Make every trip a good trip. Good Sam. Everything you need to have a good trip.
I love you.
Love you too, Papa.
Hey, honey, look what I got. A triggerfish.
Don't settle for the trips you've always taken. There's a different way to travel. And RVing is the way to go.
Look at this area. So cool. We're here!
You can see new things.
Oh!
Travel to new places. Seek new adventures.
It's moving.
All without leaving home behind.
You're so fun.
I know.
Travel different with Camping World.
Y'all have no idea what goes on when
Yes.
these cameras aren't rolling.
So many things happening behind the scenes. The excitement, though, continues. This is the end. And I'm telling you, how many times did I say, is it time to go already? Day 2 flew by like that.
Yo, there was so much to see, so much to take in, and so much good information. Y'all were, and I'm gonna say it in the kindest way, y'all were full of it.
Oh.
We have had so much fun today.
First time I ever heard that in positive context.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll take it all day.
I tell you, we had some wow moments today, several of those.
Yes.
For me, my wow moment was when Ian came up while we were talking, and he was supposed to be going to the Mallard, and everything ended up being about M&Ms and hot tea or whatever you guys are drinking. I love it. Did you have a wow moment, Ian?
You know, for me, honestly, I think it was the Yahara. That thing is clean. It's gorgeous. There's a lot of beautiful units today, but that one,
really,
something about it. You walk in, you're just like,
I would use the word showstopper today.
Yeah.
There's so many because no matter your price point, no matter what your family dynamic is, no matter your budget, anyway, we had it today. That's what I think was super cool. And I learned about toy haulers.
Well, that's the best part about, the RVing, the RV lifestyle. As we heard from Jenny, there's something for everybody.
Yeah.
And there's no better time to get into it. I mean, there's been such an influx of people discovering the lifestyle.
That's right.
And that's the whole reason why we do the Ultimate RV Show, is so you can experience it as well.
Another wow moment, Chris. I gotta say this: the big reveal of the hidden closet, or what did you call
the
it?
Coleman.
Yes.
That was so
The Coleman,
hideaway?
yes.
Yeah, the hideaway pantry.
Hideaway
that's,
pantry.
That's where you put the good Girl Scout cookies, the good bourbon you don't want to share
Yeah.
with your friend.
Yeah. You got to be somebody's real good friend to know about the hideaway.
Yes,
All the
absolutely.
good stuff's in there.
This is what it's all about, showing you the lifestyle, whatever your budget is, wherever you think you want to go, the different units. But my favorite part, these two words all weekend long, we've got plenty more tomorrow, are first looks. You guys are
looks.
awesome at those.
Yes.
And if you have any questions, I don't want anyone to think just because we're carrying on, you can't call us. You can call us all night long. 866-853-3510. Get any question you need. Our specialists are here to answer that for you.
Absolutely.
And if you saw the RV that you like, get in on it now.
Yeah.
Do
Yes.
not hesitate. You say, hey, look, I love this Mallard. I might live in, wherever. Just text URVS to 46642. You can have it brought to you. You got a trade? We'll come get it. We are not going to be denied. And if you go anywhere else, you're going to end up waiting 8 months.
That's right.
But you come to Camping World Gander, you're
never
going to
been
get
easier.
it.
I'll tell you what, day 2, it wouldn't be a finale of the day without something exciting. We've got something really special just for you. We are going to throw it to an amazing fireworks show. Let's take it away, guys. Show us the explosion of what day 2 really was all about.
See you guys
We'll see you tomorrow, yeah.